Hello fragrance friends. Today I wanted to talk about my Kayali collection. I think they are the most accessible perfume houses, I must say. Not neat. Well, I guess they are kind of a niche house. They are very popular. Other fragrances have been a big hit. She also, Monica Tan, who is the owner, releases a lot of fragrances very quick, very simultaneously. She has a lot of releases this year. I've kind of caught up on most of them. I've got a couple of samples coming, but they're not the ones I'll be talking about today. I will be talking about just a few that I have in my collection. I almost have at least a sample of all of them, but not quite. The first one that I wanted to talk about was Kayali Vanilla 28. Is the most popular one from the house of Kayali. Everyone swears by it. Beautiful vanilla scent. If you are somebody likes sweet, gourmand, smelling like a snack, as they say, fragrances, this is probably one of the staples to have in your collection. It layers so well with so many fragrances, I can't even tell you. Don't overspray and then put something else on that's equally as sweet, because you will choke somebody out. It's great for the winter to pair with winter fragrances. It's even great in the summer. It really projects in the summer. I don't want to say it's subtle in the winter, but I think it does help any fragrance that you would pair with it. It's a lovely color. When you first buy it, it's not that brown ambery color. It does get darker over time. It starts off lighter than this, but the juice does get very dark, and that's simply just because of the vanilla that's in it. And the vanilla is very warm, soothing. The notes on Fragrantica are top notes of vanilla orchard, jasmine, middle notes of brown sugar, tonka bean, base notes of amberwood, musk, and patchouli. Syrupy vanilla. In no way is it childlike. It is very mature. It does have patchouli as base note, and when I smell this, the only thing that I can smell first off is the patchouli. But when other people smell this on me, all they can smell is vanilla, and it is sticky, sweet, yum vanilla, like a baker's or confectionery vanilla, like a vanilla cake. You will literally smell like a vanilla cake just come fresh out of the oven. But then you've got the nice patchouli in the background that does brighten it up and make it a little less sickly sweet. I think obviously when I finish this, I will more than likely be getting another bottle, because it's just so great to pair with other things in my collection of perfumes that I have. And it's a people pleaser. I can't say I get a lot of compliments from it, but I can say that when people wear it, they're like, oh, what is that smell? It smells delicious. But they're not necessarily sure it's me. And I think that's maybe because of the projection, how far it projects and how strong it projects off the skin. It does leave a lovely trail behind and in front of you. So I think if you're looking for something that you're not really sure, you want something a little bit sweet, but on the mature side of sweet, then this is a really nice one. If you've never tried it, get yourself a sample. I love it. I loved it when I first smelled it. It's why I got the biggest bottle. I just had one sample and I was like, yep, that's for me. Yes, that one, yes. From the house of Kayali is my bottle of Lovefest Burning Cherry. And this one, when I bought it, I was really not sure I was gonna like it. I was looking for a cherry fragrance. I tried Tom Ford and I was extremely disappointed. So I tried my Tom Ford and I was extremely disappointed. And then I bought, I think I bought a sample of this first. No, I didn't even buy a sample. I just blind bought it, and that's why I still have this tiny bottle, because I didn't even think, oh, let's get a sample, let's try it out first. I was like, no, it can't be any more disappointing than Tom Ford Lost Cherry, because everybody been hyping up this phrase, and it's like, oh, it's an eau de toilette, it's not gonna last that long. I was like, I would pay £300 for this. It better last. I had vanilla 28. I knew that lasted and projected on my skin, so I thought I will try Lovefest Burning Cherry because I hadn't heard anybody talking about it. And it's not a lost cherry, but it is a beautiful cherry scent. It has notes of burning cherry, raspberry, praline, palo santo, guaiac wood, and patchouli. And again, the patchouli in this one is not the first thing that you smell. It's not as strong as in vanilla 28. The first thing you smell is a similar smoky, burning, hence the name, on the firewood by the fireplace type of cherry. No way is it like a cough syrup or candied cherry. Even though it's sweet, it's more leaning on the sour cherry side, but still fresh. And I think that's because of the patchouli. It is almost nutty. There's a kind of nuttiness to it, and I guess that's lended from the praline. But the one thing that I get from this is definitely the smokiness, and I think that's from the Palo Santo. It is a beautiful fragrance. I love it so much. I'm really, really trying to squeeze as much as I can out of this bottle, and I know I'm probably gonna get a bigger bottle. Like, whenever I wear this, I do get compliments. People can smell it and do know it's me, and are like, you smell really nice. It's really fruity. And I'm not saying this to be big-headed. I find that men especially do really like draw towards me when I wear this. So I can't really wear it on a date night, but maybe on a girls' night out, or if I'm doing something that I know I'm not necessarily going to be with my better half, because he's not the biggest fan of this one. But if I know I'm going somewhere that it will be appreciated, I will definitely wear this one. But yes, that is Lovefest Burning Cherry. If you're looking for a cherry scent, something that's accessible, can easily be worn in a lot of different gatherings, something that you think might be alluring to you, or if you're just looking for a cherry scent and you're really sure, I would highly recommend this. And I know a lot of people don't talk about this one from the house. I love it. I fell in love with it. I would purchase it again for sure. Eden Juicy Apple. And this one is the sample that I bought of this one. Tiny little red bottle. It's less red than the other one. The other one's sort of a darker, almost purple red. I am conflicted on this one. A lot of people that wear this one love it. I'm not the biggest fan of this particular fragrance from the house. It's not my least favorite, but it's down there on the list of Kayali's that I have. And the only reason is, when I was younger, my mom used to buy me sort of body sprays from Avon, and there was like a fruity one, and it smelled very similar to this. And I think, hello, you can sit, but be quiet. It reminded me when you that first initial opening note is very, very juicy, crisp apple. And you do get a hint of like something else. Maybe it's like a raspberry in there. And it's so fruity and so sickly when you first spray it, and it really, really turned me off. And then I let it sit for a while. Obviously, I've gotten a good wear out of it. I let it sit for a little while longer, and I was like, right, that initial sickly sweet apple smell only lasts for maybe 10 minutes. And then it calms down. And as it calms down, it matures. Do you think? I know you don't like this one. This one? No, because it's not like salmon or ham. I know. I'm not giving you ham though. You can stay. Initial, sickly, sweet, not floweriness. It's nowhere near floweriness. there is, I guess there's a slight powderiness. As it sort of calms down, it matures, it lingers on the skin a little bit more. You get a really, really nice dry down. You can smell vanilla, amber, moss. Top notes are red apple, lychee, blackcurrant, pink grapefruit, wild berries, raspberry blue. And then the middle note, raspberry bloom, jasmine, and May rose. I don't really smell the floral notes as it dries down, but when you get to the base and you can smell the sugar, the musk, the vanilla, the amber, the moss especially, really matures it and really makes it a bit more wearable. I just think for me at my age, it's not a scent that I want to wear. I think it's too sweet for me personally, which is strange to say because I really love gourmands. I love vanilla fragrances. I love sickly sweet fragrances. But this one, because of the berries, it just reminds me of like preteen era. I think if you're looking for a gift for a teenager or a preteen, this is a really nice first fragrance gift to get for them. But otherwise, if you're a bit older, in your 20s, 30s, like myself, this might not be the one that you want to lean towards. It's really, really sweet, but sweet like Bath and Body Works sweet. And it is an expensive fragrance from an expensive house. As I said, as it dries down, it gets better. It gets more bearable and less sweet, but it is verging on just being pure apple juice. Like, it, to me, it smells like apple juice concentrate when you first open it, but that's my personal opinion. I just love the feel and the weight of the bottles as well. Like, even though the caps are plastic, I kind of prefer that because obviously, like, packaging them, it can probably come to a point where they might break more easily, but the bottles, the glass bottles, are really, really hefty. They've got some weight to them, and it's probably better on the planet that they be glass recyclable bottles. Of course, the atomizer inside is still plastic. I'm not sure if we'll ever get around that, but I like them being glass. I like the design of them. The next one is Musk 12, which I think I heard they're discontinuing. I haven't actually seen it on the website either. Disappointing to me because I actually really enjoyed this. I did get a little bottle. It was just a sample 10 ml bottle that they sell. I think all of the scents come in different sizes except for the limited edition ones that she's just started doing. So she's got 10, 50, and 100 ml, which I think is a really great option. They also have an option on the Huda Beauty website. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. I just think it's good to spread the news, especially living in the UK. It's not always easy to get samples of the fragrances that you hear and want to try, but don't necessarily want to buy a full bottle. Got samples of most of them. I think they're around £3, which I think is really affordable. And you can get like a 1.2 ml the fragrance, which I think is enough for you to tell whether or not you like it. I like to get, if I can afford it, the 10 mils. They're about £20, which I think is kind of affordable. I think you get a bit more of time to live with the fragrance, see if you like it, see if it's something you see yourself wearing in the long term, because if you get a 100 ml bottle, you're going to be wearing that for quite some time, which is something that I bought for myself when we went on holiday earlier this year, because I wanted something that was kind of neutral. Also, working in an office, I wanted something that wasn't going to be too offensive, but it's light and airy. And I'd heard a few people say that this was a really good, light, musky, fresh, clean girl scent. So I thought I would try it. Freesia, lotus in the top. Middle notes are musk and jasmine. Then in the base, we've got vanilla and sandalwood. Oh, I think I took a fragrance for like almost every single day. So I had something different to wear when we went out to dinner in the evening. And this one, I was trying to pair it with a couple of other fragrances. Maybe I made the mistake and the fragrances that I paired it with weren't light enough, and that's why I couldn't smell it. That's what I thought. So then I basically doused myself in this. I think the bottle was like halfway full, and I just put the rest on, and I smelled of nothing. Like, it wasn't even a 5-minute, 10-minute job. It wasn't even a skin scent. It was nothing. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but this scent did not stick to my skin at all, which was a bit disappointing because I was expecting it to be my signature summer scent, and it ended up being something else. I do really like it. I think it's really fresh. It's not soapy fresh. It is still a very clean, serene, fresh scent. I think it's the jasmine and the freesia and that lovely, lovely sweet musk with the sandalwood that gives it sort of a round creaminess that I really, really enjoy. I'm sad it's being discontinued because I thought maybe it might just be the batch that I have in this. Maybe I didn't leave it for long enough, because I know with some of the Kayali scents, if you leave them, the longer you leave them, the more they macerate. And because they get them out at such a quick pace, they might take a little bit of time to open up and really, really enjoy the scent. I think maybe that's what happened with this one. I needed to leave it for a little bit longer, so I kind of wish that they weren't discontinuing it. I enjoyed it. If you can get your hands on a little sample, maybe give it a go. If you're looking for a scent that's like feminine, clean, everyday, office, easy pull, easy grab, you don't have to think about it, I think this is a really, really good option to add to your collection from Kayali. The ever controversial Yum Pistachio Gelato, which I think people, when they saw it, thought it was going to be extremely creamy, rich ice cream gelato with a nuttiness. And I think it does have those things, but I think it also has other things as well. And for me, this was love at first sniff. With a lot of the Kayalis, to be fair, I made my mind up straight away that I was like, I need a full bottle of this. And Mama got a full bottle of this. Pistachio Gelato, hazelnut, sweet dark rum in my opinion, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. And I just really fell in love with the frosted bottle, the cleanness of it. You can just hear the frostedness of the bottle. I really, really enjoy the white cap on it. Mine's got a little gooey on the top, but to me, it's an incredible scent. And when it said Yum Pistachio Gelato, I was a bit confused because when the scent was released, it was like springtime. And I was like, how are you gonna have this scent on in the spring when it's getting hotter and not just smell like sour milk? So I was really intrigued, but it doesn't have a milky center. Our pistachio ice cream opens up with bergamot, hazelnut, and rum and cardamom. The middle notes, I mean, this list goes on. Lily of the valley, sweet pear, geranium, jasmine, peony, raspberry, white peach. Base notes, whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy, tonka bean, Turkish delight, sandalwood, cedar, and cacao. The only things that I could smell were whipped cream, an airiness of like a cotton candy, and then a really, really sweet, sort of almost praline hazelnut. And then I let it sit. I got my second bottle. I learned from previous ones to let it macerate, left the cap off, left it in a cool, dark area, and it just got a second life. And when I tell you the dimensions of this fragrance, from this 10 ml still smells completely different from this 100 ml. And I think maybe that's where the controversy came, is I think the larger bottle that you have of it, the more depth and dimension that you get from it. From this, it's just a sampler, like literally just a sampler. And I don't get the same depth and dimension. I don't get the rum, the bergamot. But when you spray it, especially from that larger bottle, you can smell like a sweet, fresh lemon almost at the top of it. And then as it dries down, it gets sticky and sweet and airy and light. And I thought, as a gourmand from the summer, it was very, very clever, very well done. I really appreciated that it was sweet and yummy and on the gourmand side, but also there's maturity coming from the rum, coming from the hazelnut, coming from the cedar, from the cacao. There's lots of darker notes to sort of give it a weight, but then it still stays very, very light and airy. And then I saw it was from Oliver Crisp and Sebastian Crisp, and they worked together on this one. I was like, right, I'm gonna have to try some of the stuff from Acro now. I'm gonna have to try some of the stuff from Sebastian's line, because to me, this is, I mean, in terms of affordable, non-offensive, something that everyone can see themselves wearing, is easily accessible. I think this is such a complexity about it. It's such a complex scent. I really enjoy wearing it. I enjoy other people smelling it. I've never gotten a compliment from it yet, but I think it's just the times that I wore it. I really don't care if anybody else likes it. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I thoroughly enjoy smelling something different every time. Now I get a lot more of the Turkish Delight, and it is very, very, you get that perfumey, sweet doughiness from the actual Turkish Delight, but then you get that powdered sugar, and then you get a little bit of cotton candy as well. And it's just, I enjoy it very much. And I think for someone who loves gourmands as an older person, I think it's very well crafted, and crafted well enough that anyone could wear it. Yeah, Yum Pistachio Gelato. This is the newest one from the collection, which I'm still growing with it. I'm still learning about it. I'm still trying to figure out the things that I compare it with, the things that work with it, when I should wear it. I didn't wear it to the office the other day, and nobody was offended. It's from the Oudgasm collection. The only one that I was really intrigued by, it's got the core notes. It says of cappuccino, geranium, rose Damascus, white musk, vanilla, and oud. Of all of them, it says it's on the weaker side of oud. And I think the only other oud fragrance that I have tried and liked was God of Fire, and it's definitely nowhere close to that level of oud. If you've never tried oud before and you're not sure about it, but you like coffee fragrances, I think this is, again, very accessible and something that you probably wouldn't mind. The only thing about this, and it might be my mistake, is when I did my full routine, shower, body lotion, everything, I don't know if it's because I literally just got it. I mean, even now it smells different from when I sprayed it the other day, but when I sprayed it on my hand just to test it, and I left it to just try and sit and see how long it would last, see if it opens up, see how it dries down. And when I wore it to work, these Kayali fragrances I wear from when I leave the house. I'm at work till 8, I finish at 4, and I can still smell it. I don't really have to top it up. This one, I was like, where's it gone? By lunchtime, I was like, where's it gone? And maybe it's just I went a bit agnostic to it and it was still there. But also because I switch up my fragrances a lot, and some days I don't wear fragrance at all. So, and this was one of the stints that I hadn't worn anything in a while. And I was like, I do not know where it's gone. Left it on, and on the test strip, it's completely different from on your skin. When you wear it on your skin, you get a really nice opening of cappuccino, but I immediately got an opening of mandarin. Bitter chocolate and orange go really well together. And this lovely cappuccino smell that you get, this has got bergamot as well in the opening. I was like, whoa. And then I sprayed it, and I was looking over my husband, and he was like, what is wrong with this? Smelling the back of my hand. I was like, this is really good. Really good. As it dries down on my skin, you really get a lot of rose, a lot of geranium coming out. And for someone that isn't really into florals very much, I was a bit worried, but then like you still get a little hint of coffee coming up in the background. The oud, like I said, to me, I do not catch it at all. And a little bit of white musk and patchouli, definitely a muskiness. And with the geranium and the rose, it's very nice musky dry down that you get, not so much the coffee, which is fine if the coffee only lasts in the beginning for a bit. I do really enjoy the dry down on this one. For somebody who doesn't really like rose or geranium, I think it's really good. Whether I'm going to fall in love with it like I did the Pistachio Gelato, only time will tell. I've not worn it enough, but it is, so far, I am enjoying it as a coffee scent. And when it said cappuccino, immediately it's a creamy coffee. Definitely creamy, frothy coffee, not a dark, black, no milk, no sugar coffee. It's definitely got some sweetness in it, which I enjoy. I only got a tiny little sample of this, which is kind of okay because I think this is one of the stronger ones. It is from the Intense collection. I don't know if I can squeeze the last little bit out of here. Tobacco leaf, sour cherry, honey, chocolate, hazelnuts, middle note of cinnamon, May rose, Damascus rose, citrus leaf, and the base notes I think is really where it sings. Got amber, agar wood, vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood, cypriol oil, patchouli, and musk. And I think maybe I'm just a bit partial to scents that have this mixture of cypriol oil and musk, because I feel the same way about God of Fire, and it has the same sort of base notes in it. I think this is really good. At first I thought it was way too strong for me, and then I let it sit. I let it macerate. I think this is a beautiful date night scent. If you want to draw someone in, intoxicate them, older, don't mind the darker scents from a woman who is a bit more years behind her, or for a woman that's a bit more daring and is looking for something that's smoky and seductive and sultry. I think this is a really good one to try. Why don't I have a full bottle? I think it's just because at the time when I tried it, I was not expecting it to be as dark and as smoky as it was, and I wore it in the day. This is definitely a nighttime fragrance, definitely a date night fragrance. In the winter time, I'm not sure how it would fare in the summer. I think it's a bit too dark. You usually in the summer you want to wear something a little lighter, but it is very smoky, very oudy, very intense. It's not for somebody who wants to smell breezy. It is somebody who is grounded, who has a force about them when they walk. That's what this scent evokes. And I was not prepared, because all the other ones I have are very light, very gourmand, very airy. This is dark, heavy, oudy, smoky. Would I get a bigger bottle? Yes. Probably. Do I see myself doing anytime soon? Not at the moment, because I have another amber fragrance that I'm trying to work my way through, and I don't want to oversaturate all the fragrances that I have. So I would definitely revisit it. But I think if you're looking for something with a bit more weight, a bit more body to it, this is definitely a good addition. From what I've smelled, and it's very strong and it projects. I did not need to spray a lot. I probably got about 3, almost 4 wears out of this before I was like, yeah, that's well and truly finished. But yeah, it is strong. It's a lovely amber fragrance. Vanilla royal sugared patchouli, and apparently took about 64 tries to get right, which I think is the highest number I've seen from Kayali. If you didn't know, the numbers on the side is how many times it took them to perfect the fragrance and see if they got it right. Now, this one unfortunately is not in a sprayer, it's in like a dabber, which is fine because it is strong. And I haven't worn it that many times because I'm still trying to think of the right occasion to wear it. I think we've got a date night coming up. I think it's probably really good for Christmas time. But it's got a sweetness and it's got the heaviness of sort of invite only. You can smell that there's definitely amber in there. You can smell definitely the patchouli. It's patchouli. I would say that this one is vanilla 28, but darker. Less vanilla, less sugar, amped up with the patchouli. That's what it smells like to me. Do I get notes from when it says it in the beginning? Not necessarily. I do definitely smell vanilla. There is sugar in it as well. I can't really smell the leather, but I can smell the smokiness. You do get agar wood, amber, a little bit of brown sugar, and maybe there's a tiny bit of some florals, but nothing too overwhelming. I'd say on the dry down, I think the oud gets a lot stronger in this one, and you get a little bit more of the florals, but to me, I think it would be really, really well suited to wear around the Christmas period because it's just got such a lovely, warming, comforting vibe from the amber, from the vanilla. You can definitely smell the sugar in there. It kind of reminds me of like a fruit cake that you get in the Christmas time. With almost like all the icing on it, the cherry on top. That's what it reminds me of. I'm still working on my sample, to be honest, so I didn't have a chance to wear it, but I will. Don't worry, I'll wear it. So the last one, and this is the most disappointing. So for me, I would say if I were to rank them, this would be on the bottom of my list because I was so disappointed because so many people had talked so much about this fragrance. It's great for the summer. You'll love it. It's fresh. It's fruity. It's got this. It's got coconut. And then I tried it and I was like, this is disgusting. Like, I found nothing to like about it. Utopia vanilla. This one I sprayed it. And I was like, before I even left the house, I was like, where is it gone? Where has it gone? It turned into a skin scent immediately, and I don't know whether it's just the build of this fragrance that just doesn't agree with me, but I was so disappointed. And then when I actually could smell it, I was like, it doesn't smell that nice to me. It's supposed to have top notes of coconut milk, honeysuckle, pear blossom, Italian vanilla. Middle notes: gardenia, tuberose, jasmine, sambac, amberette. Base note: bourbon vanilla, sandalwood, musk, and patchouli. I love honeysuckle. I literally, if there was a fragrance just honeysuckle, I would probably buy it. I'm still looking for it. I'm sampling a few. I haven't found one that reminds me of that dusk summer evening when the honeysuckle smell starts to rise from the dew of the hot heat of the ground. Anyway, I thought that was going to be this. Coconut. We all love coconut. We all love tropical, lying on the beach, feeling like we're on a holiday. But when that lemon hits, it's like gone off coconut milk. I don't know if anybody drinks milk alternatives, but when they go off, they don't taste nice. And that is all they get from this. I've given it an entire try. Maybe I need to try it again. I was not a no. It was a no for me, dog. I was really disappointed because so many people had hyped this up. And I think I got a bigger volume of the sample. I got 1.5. I usually go for a 1.2, 1.5. I gave it a chance. This is the only one that I was like, no, you've lost me. Maybe somebody else will smell it and they really like it. Maybe it's because I'm not really a white floral lover. I'm not a rose lover either, and that's what turned me off. But even from the opening note, I was not intrigued to progress further with this fragrance. So that was the only one that I was like, no. So it would be like this one on the bottom and then eating juicy apple on top of it. I don't know if I'm offending one, but that's why fragrance is all subjective. These are the ones that I enjoyed. I know there's a couple of left off. Sweet Diamond. There's loads from the Oudgasm. I've not tried the wedding collection yet. They are coming though. I'm gonna try some more of the Oudgasm that just came out. And if anything else comes out, I'll probably try that as well, because I really do enjoy the way they craft their fragrances. Like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully you'll come back.